Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. We're very close. It'd be wonderful if you guys could join us on this journey through the Knicks season, which has been very difficult for us fans. Very difficult, but you know, I love the team. I love basketball in general, and I specifically love the Knicks, man. I mean, they're my favorite team, and it hurts when you have to go through evenings like tonight. Yep, the New York Knicks scored only 75 points tonight. They got beat by Boston in the second game of a home-and-home series. We won that miracle game on Thursday night with the miracle shot by RJ. But, you know, the game was tied, so there's no reason that we wouldn't have been able to win that game anyway. But it was still nice to get that thrilling buzzer-beater win, which I believe is the first time the Knicks have done that since J.R. Smith did it in 2012 is what I think is correct. Anyway, but look at this tweet that a good friend Keese put out today after the game. Knicks only scored 75 points tonight. Lowest points scored for the team all season. Previous low was 80 against the Thunder. So this was an inexplicable disaster. It was painful to watch this game. I felt like I was abusing myself in that second half by continuing to watch it. But I just wanted to see if we actually had a comeback in us. In fact, the reverse actually happened. This team got off to a pretty sad start. As you can see here, we were only behind a few points, I think 1 point at the half. But that was pretty much it. We never got closer again. We let the game spiral out of control, and there were several reasons. For one, number one, we didn't hit our shots. Now, number two, they did hit shots. So, and Jaylen Brown got a triple-double, so good for him. My hair is a little crazy. He got a triple-double tonight. But look, here we go. Look at these stats. I'm going to get into this more specifically, but I'm going to show you only one highlight. Only one highlight, and it's not even of this game. It is the highlight of the moment that I believe that Julius Randle snapped. And it's what led to the inevitable, now infamous thumbs down on his behalf and the shut the fuck up to all us fans who are unhappy with the way he's been playing. I'll get to that. Just bear with me, and I'm going to show you some stats and some stuff here that you might find interesting. But basically, this game just spiraled out of control in that third quarter. And in fact, let's just go to those stats here. Here's the third quarter. In the third quarter, the team shot only 38.1%. From the field, only hit 25% of their three-pointers, only 2 of 8. And they only scored 18 points in that third quarter. The game just spiraled out of control. Julius had 2 assists and quickly had 2 assists. The only ones who actually gave us points that quarter were RJ Barrett, 3 of 7, hit 1 of 3 of his three-pointers in that third quarter, and Emmanuel Quickley, 3 of 4. Didn't attempt any three-pointers himself. Alec Burks put up a goose egg right there. Nice big fat 0. And so did Mitch. And so did Taj. Quinton hit his three-pointer. That was the one three-pointer that he hit in the game. But let's look at this here. This is the stats for the entire game for the team. As you can see, RJ in the fourth quarter, but the game was already out of hand by then. He only hit 1 of 7 of his attempts in the fourth quarter. But before that, he was 6 of 14. And he had actually hit, he was 4 of 8 from a three-point line in the first half. Actually, no, through the first 3 quarters. Sorry about that. The free throws. I mean, look at RJ. Only hit 1 of his 5 free throw attempts. Mitch, only 1 of his 4 free throw attempts. Even Emmanuel Quickley, the leading free throw shooter in the NBA. I don't know if you guys realize that. He's the best free throw shooter in the NBA. Even he missed 1 tonight. The team shot 40% from the free throw line, 35.5% from the 3-point line, but only on 31 attempts. And overall, 36.7%. We could not do anything at the rim. Nothing at the rim. We had only 18 buckets that weren't three-pointers. That was it. Wow. The rebounding was pretty sad, but look at the turnovers for Julius Randle. 6 turnovers, and I will tell you, those 6, he had them all with only 3 minutes left in the third quarter. He had already had those 6 turnovers. So, to look a little bit on the bright side, he didn't commit any turnovers for the last 15 minutes of the game. Woohoo! Look at the plus minus. Minus 21 for RJ, minus 17 for Julius, minus 15 for Mitch, minus 16 for Burks, minus 15 for Quickly, minus 15 for Quinton. I also want you to look at the minutes. The minutes for Miles McBride. The man did not even get 3 full minutes of court time, and the game was a blowout by halfway through the fourth quarter. Jericho Sims, minute and a half. Knox, minute and a half. Obi Toppin, only 9 minutes. Yes, he was 0 for 3. A terrible three-point attempt. I think it was basically an air ball. But, come on. I hope that Obi sticks with it. I hope he doesn't get demoralized by this whole thing. I hope that he's got to keep his energy up. He has to kind of work through this period. He's having a slight down period right now. And I have to believe that it's kind of coming off you get 45 minutes one game, and then, I think he got like 5 minutes or something the next game, and then now look at him now. 9 minutes. Man, but 18 points in that third quarter. 2 points for Julius Randle. This is the leader of the team. The guy who came after the fans with the thumbs down. This is how he follows that up. With 2 points in the crucial third quarter when the game was still theirs. The game was still there to be won. And remember, Boston is a team that hasn't been that good in the fourth quarter. But tonight, they came through, they pulled it out, and, you kind of have to tip your cap to them begrudgingly, very much begrudgingly. All right, so there's the other stats, this is the ones I usually show you guys. I just wanted to highlight them in large form there before. Now here, look at Tatum. Tatum, 19 points, didn't have, give you some points, but just efficiency-wise, wasn't the greatest, but it really came down to Jaylen Brown. Tatum did hit some tough shots, though. But, man, those other guys, Richardson cooked us, 17 points. Man, that hurt us. Jaylen Brown, 22 points. Robert Williams, look at him, 12 points, 6 of 7. Very similar. He's a similar player to Mitch. I'll be getting to the highlights soon here. Here you go. Here are the team stats. You can see how the Knicks basically just couldn't get anything going in terms of shooting-wise, offensive-wise. But look at we got out-rebounded, committed to only 12 turnovers. And I say only kind of like, but half of those were committed by Julius. Look at the points off the turnovers, however. 21 points off of the turnovers. So we were a -8 right there. Wow, that'll really tell you something. But the big story is the points in the paint. Only 24 for the Knicks, 42 for the Celtics. That was an embarrassment. We even had a 10-point lead in this game at one point. The game spiraled out of control. After the minute we got that 10-point lead, that's when Celtics turned it on, and the game went the other way. Now, I want to get to this. So Julius Randle today on Instagram, or was it yesterday? I can't remember. Whenever it was, he posted a explanation for his thumbs down and the shut the fuck up in the postgame explanation that he gave to Bondi, I believe. He said, he regrets, there's things that you regret, like with your family, when you say something, and blah, blah, blah. You know what it was? It was mostly an explanation. Wasn't really an apology. And it's been tweeted out. I don't know, I didn't hear it myself, But Berman on 98.7 with Doris confirms that Julius was urged to make an apology. Well, they all failed because it really wasn't an apology. It was just an explanation. But you know what? I'm willing to kind of move on from it. However, here's the thing. This is Julius's report card for the first 38 games of both seasons side by side here. All right, there you go. Not even averaging 20 points per game, averaging less than 42% field goal percentage this season, less than 32% three-point percentage. He's still at the double-digit rebounds, which is nice, 10 rebounds per game, about 5 assists per game, 3.5 turnovers. Last season, he was averaging almost 23 points per game by this time. This is the first 38 games that he's played last season compared to this season. Almost 23 points per game. He was averaging almost 48% field goal percentage overall. That's 6 percentage points better. He was averaging almost 41% from the three-point line. That's almost 10% better. He was about similar, 11 rebounds per game, 5.6 rebounds more. That's assists. A half of an assist more per game last season. So he was scoring more and assisting more. Remember that. The turnovers were a little lower. It was still kind of high, but the ball was in his hands a lot last season. 3.3. Here's the thing. The reason why it was lame that you made the thumbs down, Julius, is because you've got to answer that with performance on the court. You can't be like lashing back at us. Now you've made that the story. Now, whenever you have a shit game like you did tonight, like this kind of performance in the third quarter, 1 of 6 in the third quarter when you were needed the most, when you do that, then it makes me think, why can't I boo you? Now, personally, that's not my style. I'm not going to go into the arena and boo particularly one particular player. If I boo, it's the whole team, and that's very rare. Very rare. However, I can voice my displeasure. I can come on here and discuss the actual results. When you play great, I call it out. When you play well, I call it out. When you don't play well, I point it out. When you play like hot trash, I can't ignore it. I have to point it out, or else I would be living in a false reality, and that's not something that we're gonna do here. Because in the Knicks-Verse, even though it's an optimistic place, and I like to put an optimistic spin on something, but it has to be something real and meaningful to be able to put an optimistic spin on. I mean, RJ, I'm not happy with RJ's performance this year at all. Do I have hope that he can turn it around? Yes, and a lot of it is because of his mental makeup. Julius, you're starting to crack under the pressure of being the man. I don't know if it's the contract. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. Something is going on because this kind of performance, it doesn't really jive with the kind of player that we saw that you were last season. Look what you were last season, and you went on to even your actual points per game went up from this point on. Now that did coincide with Derrick Rose coming to the team, and that made your life easier. It made everyone's life easier. It made the whole team better. Everyone got better because of Derrick Rose, and the team got better, and so did the record. In fact, we're a losing team without Derrick Rose in the past 2 seasons. So let's hope he does get back. But that doesn't mean that you guys can't figure it out on your own. And you, as the leader of the team, you need to just play the game. If you want to if you obviously are watching us all talk and comment on what you're saying, what you're doing. So also denying that kind of rings really hollow. Now, here's the moment that you cracked. Here's the moment that Julius Randle cracked.
With another rebound and a foul on Justin Anderson.
There was about under a minute left in the third quarter. He was fouled during the defensive rebound.
Craig hanging to him.
And they showed this highlight. It was the play right before that, and I think RJ got 30 points here. Now watch.
So they're in the
Julius
penalty.
is going to the free throw line.
Randle, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists.
13 points in this quarter, looking for 2 more.
You heard a
Barrett
chant?
is serenaded again. The second time we've heard
There they
R.J.
were.
Barrett chants. Last year was Randle MVP chants.
There it was. I think that was the cup runneth over moment, where if you just keep putting one drop into a cup, eventually it's going to spill over. I think that was the moment. And I'm not talking about like all the crazy shit that some fans do with attacking his wife and kids and all this. I think that is totally ridiculous and way out of bounds and never should be allowed, never should be done. Please, let's just keep this to basketball issues, only about the player. Family, friends, wives are out of bounds. But the player himself, within reason, you don't want to get abusive or anything, but you can definitely boo a performance. You can definitely have negative feelings about a performance and comment on it if it's done within certain bounds of being respectful, which I always try to be. But I think him hearing those chants, remember, this is also the game where he ended up scoring 30 points as well. The two of them, they combined for 62 points. But RJ got the chance while Randle was about to shoot that free throw. I think that might have been the snap moment for Julius, because he waited until the very next game, until a moment where the Knicks were back. I think we were ahead, or we finally come back and tied it after being down by 25 points. So there was no other time for him to express his feelings back at the fan base. And then that moment happened. He took advantage of it when they tied it, and he gave the thumbs down, and it was lame. Now, I think he's made this a bigger story than it needed to be. And his apology is kind of only compounded it, because we're not fools. We all know what that was. All that I ask for you is just get your focus back together. Remove things from your life that are not adding to your production on the floor. Focus on your teammates. Embrace your teammates the way you did last season. Be the leader. Be the leader on the court. You don't have to be the vocal leader. Be the performance leader that we need you to be. This team goes nowhere without you, brother. Nowhere. And you're here for another 4 years. So I hope you can get it together and straighten it out. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Hopefully, we'll have a better result on Monday against the Spurs. The Knicks are going into a stretch of home games, and then the schedule gets really tough. So now is the time to rack up some wins. Hopefully, we'll get Fournier back. We were still depleted. We're still missing a lot of players. Still no Nerlens, no Kemba, and no Derrick Rose. We need you, brother. All right, I hope you're healing well. Okay, thank you guys for watching this. Hit the thumbs ups. Please subscribe and drop your comments. I want to hear your feelings about all of this. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.